This evening, we are joined by my two sisters from our club, San Fernando, Soroptimist International of San Fernando, a group of women whose work reaches families, communities, and generations. Soroptimist International is part of a local and global movement committed to improving the lives of women and girls. I'm honored to welcome the president, Ms. Cindy Simongal, and immediate past president, Leanne Coilas Shan. Ladies, welcome to The Right Fit.
Thank you, Bibi. We're very happy to be here today.
Thank you very much for having us here.
Right. First of all, to let our audience, our viewers know who we are talking to, I'll ask you, tell us about yourself. Let's start in my immediate left here. Cindy, a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Good evening, everyone. My name is Cindy Simongal, the president of Soroptimist International San Fernando, effective just this year, April. I've been with the club for just over 4 years, and I am really interested today in advising and sharing information about the club and about Soroptimism internationally.
Excellent. And Leanne?
Yes, well, I am Leanne Coilas Shand. I am the immediate past president of the club. I also serve in the role of program action officer at this time. Professionally, I manage LifeLab Medical Laboratory, but tonight I'm wearing my Soroptimist hat, and I'm here to represent a group of incredible women who have been serving the people of South Trinidad for over 60 years.
Excellent, and we all attest to that service there. Cindy, I will start with you to tell us a little more about Soroptimism. Some people can't even pronounce the name properly. So tell us, what is Soroptimism all about?
So even when I started, I was not aware of what Soroptimist was. I was introduced to Soroptimist by actually my dentist, Sabita Harikisun. Soroptimism, I later found out, actually serve in approximately 120 countries and territories. We have over 80,000 members internationally, approximately 3,000 clubs. Soroptimist generally, is a volunteer group that advances gender equality. We aim to promote and support access to education, to training, to healthcare. We support economic empowerment for women and girls, and we raise awareness of violence against women. We also are very interested at this point in raising digital awareness through AI and other learning opportunities for women and girls. For us, Soroptimism and volunteerism is not just about simply responding to the needs of women and girls. It's really about building knowledge, confidence, and opportunities that change lives. When I started Soroptimism over 4 years ago, for me, it was a new understanding to really not help women just for an immediate impact, but also to better influence their future, long-term needs rather than short-term. We do facilitate short-term initiatives and support women and girls and the wider groups and all that immediately, but our main aim is to support women so that we can have a major impact for more long-term, medium and long-term purposes.
And so you have sustainable projects, and Leanne will talk about some of your
That's right.
very interesting projects that you have there. And specifically, could you tell us your goals and your mission? I know you have a 3E that you would like to share with the public out there.
Yeah, so Soroptimist generally is throughout the time in the San Fernando Club. We've been working with many of the healthcares, education, environment, sustainability, gender equality, entrepreneurship, and support for vulnerable communities in South. One of the things that we are really proud of is that our organization is not a one-size-fits-all. We listen carefully to our communities, we build partnership and deliver meaningful and really measurable results, which Leanne, as program officer, will share more about. Our mission is really to transform the lives of women. Our goal is simply, we have a lot of projects and fundraising that we do. Our goal is not just to facilitate projects, it's to create that lasting impact for women and girls and our community. We recently were invited by a few schools, and through our program Action and our past president Leanne, we facilitated the laboratory at the biolab. We actually did over the biolab in St. Joseph Convent. We also have had many activities on endometriosis. We've had mentoring of young girls, supporting of domestic violence and promoting environmental sustainability, to which we've had a lot of partnerships along the way with NGOs and within various spaces in the community.
Excellent. So, and I'm sure Leanne will go in a little in depth into each project, because I know you have some very, very interesting projects that you have completed.
Definitely.
And I'm dying to hear about the San Fernando projects. But let's go to Leanne. San Fernando Soroptimist, a long history of service in South Trinidad. How will you describe your club's unique identity within the national Soroptimist movement?
All right. Well, what I think makes our club truly unique is the incredible bridge that we have between our past and our future. So at this time, we have served the Southern community for over 60 years.
Wow.
And we are incredibly blessed to have one of our founding members still active, as in she is very mentally sharp, she still has her independence, and she is still with us at 100 years old.
Wow, that's
Yes.
with a celebration.
Yes, it is. So she is 100. So when we hear of the club's stories, we aren't reading it in the minutes or seeing it in photographs. We are getting the information and the stories through lived experience of our members. So we have members who have been in the club for decades, and then we have members who would have joined just 1 month ago, all working alongside each other in the club. And I think that makes the club really unique. I think we have a very strong foundation. We have a lot of good advice, right? And the reality of working across decades.
Exactly so.
Perspectives, that makes our club
I mean,
truly special.
100, from 100 go
All
right
the
back
way
to the
down.
young ones.
Yes, so we have
Exactly,
someone,
yeah.
so she's been in the club for 62 years, and then our latest member would have joined just in April of this year. So all of us working together with all these different perspectives, I think that is the strength.
And all women.
All women,
yes.
yes.
Women working for
All
women and
yes.
girls, and they are all professional women.
Yep.
Yes.
And what's more, just to add to what Lee said, is that the women that are involved are of yes, various backgrounds, but we also are involved in various different types of organizations that we work for. I, for example, am in the banking industry. Leanne is in medical. There are lawyers, other doctors, teachers, yeah,
Business
many teachers,
people.
business people, entrepreneurs. So with this vast knowledge of, for me, it's the corporate world. For others, it could be entrepreneurship. We utilize each of our strengths and sometimes our opportunities as well to build each other in a sisterhood, and then to see how we can better build our communities. How can we
Excellent.
support our communities?
So you bring a wealth of varied experiences to the club,
Absolutely.
which makes it so perfect in a way that
Yeah.
you run, with age is no difference, and backgrounds help you to
Yeah.
make that so good. So Leanne, you've been in the club a umpteen number of years. What does a optimist woman in San Fernando mean to you personally?
Well, for me, being a Soroptimist is about purpose. Many of us are mothers, wives, businesswomen, professionals in different fields, and we have very demanding lives. But each of us has deliberately chosen to give of our time and skills to improve the lives of other women. And I think as a conscious decision, that reminds me of how fortunate I am. You understand? Being a Soroptimist makes me look at things instead of saying, why hasn't someone done something about this? We say, what can we do about this situation. So it has sort of shifted my perspective in looking at things in life. We have a great privilege, as Cindy said, of having a lot of different talents within the club, and everybody brings something different. So we have a really strong foundation, and you're able to achieve more within an organization where you have all the tools throughout the different women to accomplish things that you could not accomplish on your own. So that is the personal outlook.
And let's say, Cindy, although you're a newbie, not too new as
Not
well.
too new.
But what personally do you find with Soroptimism in San Fernando?
Generally, with volunteerism, I think for me, growing up in South Trinidad, it has been a lot of community involvement. So, for example, growing up, I would look at my mom volunteer her time. She wouldn't call it volunteerism, but she would volunteer her time to mentor some of the young girls around the community, for example. So, and again, she wouldn't look at it as mentoring, but now that's what we would call it. So I grew up in a household with 2 sisters, myself, my mom, my grandma, so, and now I have 5 nieces. The impact that, you know, some of these projects that we do, even the fundraising activities, the impact that I see influencing the wider community, I can see where in my childhood I would have been positively impacted. For my nieces, for example, emulating what my mom did in a wider scale. Because I'm sure we all have those communities where we grew up in, where your mom may not have had time to take care of you, but your aunt, your grandma, you know, things like that happened. And us really mentoring and caring for each other at home, and then by extension in Soroptimism, it's deeply personal for me, because it makes me feel like a sense of getting things done, and not just for myself, but really for the impact of young women and girls. There are so many girls out there who do not have positive mentorship that I did, or my sisters did, or my nieces do. Just the way my nieces look up to me, and my sisters and my mom. There are a lot of women and girls out there who, even apart from Soroptimism, that all of us do outside of Soroptimism and in Soroptimism as well. It's really that conscious decision to say, today and every morning, I am going to help someone, whether it be one person. The schools that we volunteer in St. Joseph Convent, the School for the Deaf, and Leanne will talk about it as well, the Horizon Project, where we impacted more than 300 or 400 students at a time, and this is an annual thing that we are going to have. So again, a deeply personal sense of doership for me, and deeply fulfilling as well.
Service
Yes.
to mankind, as you say. So let's talk about the impact on women and girls, especially in South Trinidad. And I'll ask Leanne, what are some of the most pressing issues facing women and girls in the San Fernando region right now?
Well, the challenges are varied, but they are interconnected, right? We continue to see the issues that you would expect: domestic violence, mental health issues, there's financial insecurity, unequal access to opportunities, lack of confidence among the younger girls. There are health issues that don't always get raised. Endometriosis is a big health issue that our club has been championing for many, many years. You would see, like, young girls, they need to be brought to the realization that your outcome is not necessarily determined by where you have started, right? So that is something that for the young girls may be pressing. Then you would see the health issues, the young girls, mentorship. Mentorship is also very important across different age groups. So there are several issues, and we try to get to the root of the issue and see what caused it in the first place, and come up with a project that could aim to alleviate.
Excellent.
the issue.
And that tells us that you do your needs assessment.
Right.
You find out the problems in South Trinidad. Not all you can solve and do, but you
Right.
take the crucial or the critical ones and you work on that. And without calling name, is there any someone life that you can share a story? I know the audience out there like to hear that kind of story, that you have done a project with and there was a meaningful change to that person or persons.
And they come in to me with the difficult questions.
Yes.
So we've been in operation for over 60 years. So for me to actually choose a project is very difficult because we have touched many, many lives in different ways. But one thing that I could actually highlight here, I don't know if everyone knows, our club owns a home for the aged in Marabella. So we own and operate a home, which is Shangri-La Sir Optimus Retirement Home. Members of the club volunteer their time and resources to manage the institution. It's been running for over 50 years. So the impact is an impact that has gone over decades. All of the residents who have lived there, many would have been maybe alone at home if they didn't have this place to come to. And there are lots of friendships, camaraderie, you have companionship. So we have impacted the lives of hundreds of seniors who have passed through the home. In addition to that, the home has provided employment for several women, because all women staff, and some of the women have been there over 20 years, and you see them, they would have started in their early 20s. Some of them are now grandmothers. So the salary from the home would have given them the opportunity to raise their families. So that is decades of impact
Women
through one project.
Working with
Yes.
women and our viewers out there, we have that home.
Yes, we do. And it's lovely. It's lovely. The ladies are, the residents are happy. The staff is very, 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 very caring, So I think that is a project. It started as a project, so that is a project that has gone for decades and continues to impact.
And it continues at a very high level. I've seen it, and there's always improvement in the physical amenities.
Always, yes.
And people, and club members, I saw recently, they went to entertain them. They bring in outside people to entertain them there. So to our viewers out there, if you need a good home for your grandmother, aunt, whatever, they are there.
It's a very good option.
Very
it's
good
a very
option there.
Yes.
So we're
There's
making
also a little pitch for them. There is also, like, if you do surgery and you need aftercare for a few weeks, that is possible. If it is, you live with your daughter, but she goes to work and you want to make sure, that your mom is taken care of just during the day, all of that
That's
is
an excellent
possible.
point, because I met Mala recently and I told her I had surgery. She said, well, why didn't you come?
You see? Yes,
So
yes.
it lends to that kind of community service, the love, the affection, and the care.
Yes.
Which Trinidad and Tobago is an
Yes, it's an
aging
aging population, exactly.
So we need those kinds of homes around the country.
Yes.
So I'm going to ask you another hard one too,
Gosh,
Leah.
here we go.
Sir Optimus San Fernando has undertaken a number of very impactful projects over the past year. Can you tell us some of your flagship initiatives and the difference they have made in the community so far? We talked briefly about it, but I think now we'll bring up the slides
there was
to talk
one
about some
slide
of
that we
the
did.
projects
Yes.
that you are doing.
Yes.
And this was the first one. We could skip that one now. We talked about the
talked about
membership
that.
here,
Yes.
all right? This one.
Right, so here we could talk about projects. So it has been, the past year has been very rewarding for our club. Within the 12-month period, we completed 16 projects, right? Of the 16, I decided to put 3 of the main ones on this slide. And these are the ones that, we're just going to highlight different aspects of projects that we do. So we transformed science education at St. Joseph's Convent in San Fernando. What we achieved was the complete refurbishment of the biology laboratory at the school.
Wow.
So we had to partner with several companies, get the funding, then specialists in laboratory, set up abroad, get all of the equipment, put everything in. We even brought in some microscopes that are smart microscopes. I think it's the only ones at present in any secondary school, and we have it in this girls' school.
Wow.
So that when, let's say, Miss is looking at something in the microscope, what she is seeing can be transmitted via Wi-Fi onto all of the students' devices or phones, and so it's very immersive, very interactive. When we were setting up the lab as well, remember, different children have different ways of learning. So we got a lot of models, so people who prefer to hold something to understand. Then of course there is the digital aspect of it. We did a full AV system. So the lab really was well designed. It's going to impact 700 students per year, because that lab is going to be in operation for
years
many, many years to come. So it was a
Excellent.
large financial obligation, but it will last for decades and it will impact. And of course, STEM education for women is a big thing for us.
Right.
So we were able to do that and to fulfill that goal. So that is like a high cost project. On the other hand, we would have done a project like endometriosis. So March is the Endometriosis Awareness Month.
Right.
So during the month of March, we decided to do a full endometriosis campaign. Now, we have been doing this for a very long time in our club. Endometriosis is a big topic for us. So this year we decided we're going to kind of like attack it from different angles, right? So it was Endometriosis Awareness Month. We had a doctor at a restaurant institution, a restaurant employer, and we had a discussion with the staff on endometriosis. That was a big staff, 3,000 staff. So we had live in their head office, and then we had it transmitted over Zoom to the rest of the offices throughout the country, so that all these women were part of this endometriosis conversation, right? So that was 3,000 women reached there, but the staff is like 98% women. So let's say 2,000 plus women, because they have about 1,000 men. So that was one aspect of it. While that was happening, on our social media pages, we were posting information on endometriosis throughout the entire month. And we had people getting the information, messaging us to ask questions. Is there a doctor we could recommend? You know, that kind of thing. So we attacked it from in person within a working space. We attacked it from online presence, and then culminating the end of the month, we have every year we do an endometriosis awareness. Well, it's an obstacle course, you know, like 5Ks are the thing now.
Yes.
So we have been doing a 3K, but it's a 3K obstacle course that we do at Skinner Park, and every year it is growing so much. So we had a lot of women with endometriosis come. The thing is, you know, when you have endometriosis, you go through all these challenges in your daily life, but you get over it. So that is how the idea of an obstacle course came into play. So it's like a representation of what the women go through, you
Exactly
know.
so.
And they do the race, and they get a nice fancy medal at the end of the race. And you have a lot of husbands that come to support their wives, and they participate, and you have a lot of fitness groups. So we attacked endometriosis, you know,
Yeah.
from all different angles, but we were able to do a really huge advocacy. And that one now had a huge impact. Thousands of women again, but at very minimal cost, you see? So that cost doesn't define the impact of the project.
And strategic interventions, if I may
Yes,
say,
right.
to get to all the women, different methods, different,
Yes.
and you are reaching them.
That is it. So that was a good project. So we looked at one that had cost involved for impact, then this one didn't really have much cost. And then another project we did last year was the Horizon Girls Conference. So we invited all the secondary schools in South Trinidad. We invited them to send a batch of Form 3 girls, because Form 3 is a kind of stage where you're kind of now figuring out, you're not really an adult yet, but you're not really a child as yet kind of thing.
Yes.
And we had an all-day conference covering several topics: mental health, even how you carry yourself,
Wow.
you know. And then so the first half was the big topics. And then the second half, we had representatives from all different careers. So we had a DJ, we had attorneys, we had people like, we had Miss World, she was there. So so it was like a career carousel, so that the girls were able to see different options open to them. We had a principal of a dance school. We had someone who creates perfumes and cosmetics. She's a scientist, but she went into business. That was Immortal Beauty. She was there. So it was a wide range of careers that the girls were able to see, wow, you know, you could do so much and see themselves there in the future. So that one as well didn't have a lot of cost, but we had 400 Form 3 girls for the day. It was really, really fun. We had DJ Charlotte as a DJ at the end, female DJ, and then she had a nice little party session with them at the end. It was really, really a heart-warming project, you know.
Is that going to continue?
It is happening
Absolutely.
every year. So it's coming up, International Day of the Girl Child.
Okay.
We'll be doing it again
So
at
if you're
Naprima
talking
Bowl.
to our audience out there,
Yes.
and if you want a donor, a
Oh,
banner.
of course. Oh, please, please. Yes. We had to feed all 400 girls, and I think this year it's going to be bigger.
Yes.
Right? Now, of course, we were able to partner. Subway gave us really good pricing
Okay.
on sandwiches, really healthy, balanced meals for all of the girls. But of course, there's a lot that if anyone wants to contribute towards that, we will more than welcome it, or contribute to any of the projects that we do.
Yeah, and you would find that throughout the year, almost every month we are doing something, either a project or a fundraiser. So us ladies are very busy. We had a golf tournament recently in June. That was a fundraiser. We had it was named the Pink Party golf tournament. And coming up, we also have our luncheon, our annual luncheon in September. All these would be advertised on our socials, which we'll provide. So, you know, participating in these events would help us to raise funds and, of course, raise awareness. So this year we're focused on pink for breast cancer, of course, and we are going to very much support breast cancer, the fight against breast cancer over this year and very early next year. We have another party coming up very, very soon, which we will have in our socials, all with the aim of raising funds, but again, activities happens throughout the year, almost every month. Where we encourage persons to contribute to, even if they can contribute their time, we involve a lot of persons to support with that. There's a lot of donations that we would require to actually facilitate these events.
Of course, and we have a slide coming up at
Yes.
the end of the program, which tells the audience out there, if you want to contribute, you have an account, or if you want to join the club. And after today, I'm sure you will have lots
Going
of
to get
people
influx.
interested in joining or supporting, because if you hear about those projects, endometriosis, the girls there, and this is needed throughout Trinidad and
Yes,
Tobago,
yes, yes,
especially as you said, they form 3 students.
Yes.
They don't know where they're going, and I'm glad
Very
you
well
focused
done.
on not the traditional career path.
Right. Yes. It was broad based, really broad based. And even with our projects, we try to touch on everything. We can't accomplish everything all the time, but we try. So even in terms of school, I mean, I highlighted St. Joseph's Convent San Fernando, but during the last year, we worked at St. Joseph's Convent San Fernando. We worked at the school for the disabled.
Right.
We worked at the school for the deaf.
For the deaf.
We worked at San Fernando East Secondary, right? And then the Horizon Conference covered the whole range of
all the schools
in
in
South,
Sa-
yes,
in and around
in
Sa-
and around all of County Victoria. Were
Excellent,
invited. Yes,
excellent.
Then we are going to start some work at St. Gabriel's coming up soon. Right, so we try to touch. Well, education is a passion for me, right? I
All
think
of us.
I think that is the way out of many a circumstance,
Absolutely.
right? But it's not only education. There's lots of different things we do. But last year really focused in that area.
And it's life skills too, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you're teaching them how to walk, talk,
Yes.
everything to
Yes.
go with it,
Yes.
because the curriculum in the school is loaded, and this is where you are helping the
Yes.
curriculum
Support.
Yeah.
both
Yes.
there
Yes.
into it.
Yeah.
It's for our viewers out there looking on, I'm sure you're amazed at the number of projects you do.
Absolutely.
And you keep on going. You
Yes.
don't stop to say, well, we take a break here.
Oh
Yes.
no, we
Yes.
don't
We
take
keep
breaks.
on
Yeah.
going.
Yeah, we actually had a slide. I think there was a slide
Let's
with
see this-
numbers.
With the numbers
Yes,
here.
to
We have a
just,
slide telling you the kind of numbers we have.
Yeah.
Yes.
You see?
So you could read
50
it.
years operating Shangri-La, that's our retirement home.
Mm-hmm.
Over 400 people for the Endo Challenge, the Horizon Project with 500 plus girls. Then the St. Joseph Convent Project, that one alone, 700 students per year, and thousands of others reached through different programs that we have done.
And all about education, awareness, education.
Yes.
Again, they
Yeah.
say educate one child and you educate a community.
Correct.
down.
Exactly.
You know,
Correct.
it build up for everything else.
Yeah.
So the other question really relates, and you'd say, how is this sustainable and relevant? But I think you addressed it there.
Yes, in the most part.
Yeah.
The important thing is to listen, you can always think that we know what the community needs, but it is always better when you partner with the person you want to help and let them give to you what they need, so that you could target exactly the needs of the person in the situation.
Exactly.
You know, so I think and you also have to look at it when we're doing a project. We want to know, well, when we do this now, 5 years from now, what impact would it have had? You know, and try to structure our projects to make sure that it's a lifelong difference in most circumstances.
Sustainability. So hold that thought right there. Let's take a break for a good cause. We'll be right back. We are discussing Soroptimism with San Fernando Club, and we'll be right back.
فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفره إنه كان توابا صدق الله العظيم.
Welcome back. You are viewing The Right Fit, and we are discussing Soroptimism with Soroptimist International San Fernando. With me is Leanne and Cindy, and we are talking about their projects. And if you are viewing, you would see some of these exciting projects, which I'm sure you would want to join or partner with. So my question goes about partnership and collaboration. Who are some of your key partners, and how does this collaboration strengthen your impact?
So Leanne mentioned many of our key partnership already in terms of St. Joseph Convent, San Fernando.
The schools.
The school for deaf, healthcare professionals. We also have quite a lot of corporate sponsors. We have many of the banks contributing to many of our specific focus areas. We have the small businesses in San Fernando, many of them supporting us during our luncheons. We have our annual golf charity. Many of the small businesses and even the Point-A-Pear Club supports us with giving us reduced fees and so forth to use the Point-A-Pear Club, the golf club. So it's really varied because at some point these corporate sponsors want to also give back similarly to their communities. And in order for them to choose us, because there are a lot of competing sponsors around right now, in order for them to choose us, we write formal letters very frequently to many of our corporate sponsors, many of our small businesses, stating exactly what we intend to do, because for us, transparency as to what we do with the funds we receive is
perfectly
very
correct.
critical.
Important.
Very
It's
important.
extremely important.
Yes.
Transparency, accountability,
Accountability.
and you give them your bank account
Yes.
number.
Right.
And let me remind the audience there that you are a registered NGO.
Yes, we
are.
All right, and everything goes through your banks, and you have auditing of
Yes.
your accounts.
Yes, we do.
So you are legitimate
We're safe.
and safe. Yes. So if a business is watching tonight now and they say, you know, I think these two ladies really doing a lot for our community and we want to be part of it, what kind of partnership will make the biggest difference there that you are asking them out there?
So the partnership that would make the biggest difference, I would say, for Soroptimist nationally, because we do have a national club. We are approximately 8 clubs throughout the country. Would definitely be those projects, well, most all of our projects really, but the ones with the biggest impact would be the bigger ones, like the school projects, for example. The school projects Horizon is coming up. As Leanne mentioned, we have to feed all these children when we invite them.
Yes.
So Subway really helped us out last year with reduced prices. So, you know, it's the simple things that would help us out a lot.
Yes.
The rental of spaces.
Where did you have that one?
We had it at
Naparima
Naparima Bowl.
Bowl.
So
Yes.
hopefully they're hearing you and
Yes,
they would
for
reduce
sure.
the
They
rent.
will help you.
Yeah.
And little things add up. If
Yes.
we have someone looking on that could say, well, okay, we could supply the water, or
Yeah.
we could
Simple
supply
things.
anything, you know, notepads, because we had to
Yeah.
get notepads. So if someone
Right.
could just, so it's not that you could give financially, we'll appreciate that, of course. But
Yeah.
if there is an item that your company is able to give, or maybe somebody does stickers and they want to do motivational stickers for us to give to all of the girls, you know, anything that anyone wants to give to anything that we are doing, we very, very,
Hopefully
very
this is a
appreciative.
plug for the business community
Yes.
out there.
Yes, and your
Listen to
branding
us,
gets
help
out.
us
Yes.
to help the future generation, the
Yes.
girls out there who need it
Yes.
most.
Yeah. We
That's-
also had some pop-ups that some of the young women, new entrepreneurs, we would encourage new entrepreneurs to come to
Showcase.
our events to showcase their products.
Excellent.
So the pop-ups where when we have these, we would invite persons to purchase, like the golf, for example, persons to purchase items from these young entrepreneurs, and it has been very successful where we provide an audience for these young women who are, you know, selling their items to have visibility. Because again, the participants to our golf tournament and our luncheon, it's a lot of the business community in South, and we're not only limiting ourselves to South. We have a lot of Central and North persons who also contribute to our clubs because of the relationships that the sisterhood have with the general public, wider public of Trinidad and Tobago. So it is encouraging for us as volunteers. It really makes us, you know, very happy that so many persons are wanting to be involved with our projects, wanting to be involved
Of
with our
course.
golf tournaments and all
And
these other
as
things.
Cindy mentioned that, so remember she was saying at the golf tournament we had a budding entrepreneur showcasing her product, and then we had the golfers purchase
product
from
was
her.
it?
She was there's different seasonings and
Yeah.
and so
Well,
for
that's
meats,
important,
yes,
you know,
seasonings,
yes,
and there was
local
a steak
again.
sauce and all kinds of stuff. Local stuff.
Uh-huh.
We actually did a project at San Fernando East Secondary the prior year, and we won a best practice award for that project.
Yes.
That project was a project where we went into the school, to the business class, the students doing business for CXC, and we went through with the class how to write a business plan, how to budget for a business, you know, the entire process to set up a business, even how you register legally, all of these kinds of things. We went through that entire process. Then the girls had to present their business idea to us, which they did. And they had their full presentations and everything done. And at the end of that, we chose some of the projects, and then it was a sort of a competition then.
Right.
And then the top projects, we actually funded the startup of their little projects for the girls. So one girl was doing some knitting and making stuff. We started her up, we got her everything that she needed to actually start her little business. Then another girl was doing baking cakes and whatnot. So we got everything for her to be able to start. So we taught the process of getting towards having a business. And then they went through the process, and then we actually set up for some of the girls. We won a best practice award.
And that
for
would
that project.
definitely win a back. I mean, you're
Yes.
starting them from
Yes,
the unknown
knowing nothing,
to the
all the way
known
to
to the
having,
action
yes,
to getting
actualizing.
them to get
Yes.
them to. I
Yes.
mean,
That
why
was an
not?
excellent project.
And
at San
you know
Fernando East.
something, you're talking about these projects, and a lot of the public do not know about these
That's
projects.
true.
You write about it, you send it there, but this is the forum here, as I
Yes,
say. This program allows or facilitate education, awareness, information. information to the public,
Right.
because you're doing extremely good work
We are.
with the public out there,
Yes, I
and
appreciate
I'm happy that you are sharing this with us
Yes.
out there. But you know, we talk about Soroptimist being a local action, and we are involved internationally as well.
Mm-hmm.
How does San Fernando connect with the international agenda while staying rooted in the local needs here?
So for us, nationally, our international reach it's really far. We have, as I mentioned before, we operate in approximately 120 countries, 80,000 members, 3,000 clubs. There is that global network where we are very closely communicated now, of recently, because of our socials. We all have our separate social pages and digital. So in terms of advancing stuff like gender equality and parity and all these things, there's newsletters that are shared monthly from our international clubs, and really we all, as in the sisterhood, would receive those emails and see what's going on globally. In terms of the same outreach and the same vision and mission of Soroptimist is shared throughout. So during our meetings, for example, so we have monthly meetings, monthly executive meetings, monthly business meetings. We have, again, our projects and our fundraisers. It mirrors the same thing wherever you go. Of course, there may be the different cultural aspect to each of the countries and each of the spaces. However, generally, we have our mission, we have our vision, the statement. It is wherever you go, you can, and there's a Soroptimist club, you can fit into any meeting anywhere.
And I know some members, they had gone to London or
Right.
Yes,
So I
yes,
want to touch on
yes.
that actually,
Yes.
so that viewers could understand
The connection.
reach of this
Yeah.
Yes.
organization. So we are Soroptimist International of San Fernando, which is a club. But
Yeah.
I want to start from how it all branches and gets down to us, right?
Yes.
So there's actually SI, which is SI International, right? That covers the entire globe. And SI International actually has consultative status at the United Nations.
Wow.
And that status is maintained because of the projects that all of the different clubs do.
Around the world.
Around the world. So we have SI International, that is globe.
Right.
And then it is broken down now into what we call federations. So the federations would be, we fall under SIGB, which is Great Britain and Ireland. There is SI America, right? The SI of the Americas. There is SI Europe. There is SI Southeast Asia Pacific, and then there's SI Africa. So SI now International is broken up into federations. So SIGB, which is Great Britain and Ireland Federation, Trinidad falls under that federation.
Right.
So we report into them, right? So out of SIGB now, that would be at the federation level. Then you have the regional. So there is actually SI Caribbean Network.
Right.
And then here in Trinidad, we have the SI National Association. And then from National Association, now that's the National Association of Trinidad and Tobago, all the clubs in Trinidad and Tobago are members of the National Association.
Well put,
right?
so you show them how the
Yes, so
breakdown
it comes
is.
all the way down to the
And
club
when
level.
you have best practice, you go to England.
Right.
For all the clubs
Yes.
in SIGB.
Yes.
And San
And then we
Fernando
win,
always win.
we win. We
So
have
you
won
can
several
imagine
times.
the wealth of
Yes.
information and the
Yes.
skills and the leadership
Correct.
and everything else that is
Yes.
in or within
Yes.
San Fernando.
Correct.
To beat all of the
Yes,
rest, so to
SIGB
speak.
has over 6,000 members,
Right.
And SIGB has just over, I think it's 270 clubs. So it's 270 clubs submitting projects for Best Practice Awards, and we've come out with a few.
Quite
We're really
a few,
proud
quite
of that.
a few.
Yeah.
I remember my time when I was president, we won
Yes,
first prize.
we did. That was an environmental project.
Correct,
Yes, back in the
correct.
days,
So
yes.
at least, you know, the audience, you know, can understand.
Right.
You're not just here, you local and
Yes,
international
all the way
as
global.
well.
Yes.
And there are other clubs in Trinidad, depending on the area you are,
Yes.
that they can join.
Yes, we have SI Port of Spain, we have SI Newtown, we have San Fernando, Anaparima, Esperance, Tunapuna, Piarco, we have Shogunas, and we have Couva.
Right.
Those are the 8 clubs.
So
Yes.
San Fernando Club actually sponsored the newest one, Tunapuna
Tuna
Piarco,
Piarco, yes, we
recently,
sponsored them
yeah.
recently.
All right, so you
yes.
do all the training and
Yes.
the hand-holding till
Yes,
they are
we do,
able to
until they
manage
go. Correct.
on them by themselves. So let's talk about your personal leadership and your journey there. I will start with Cindy. What inspired you to join Sir Optimus San Fernando? You may have touched on it
Yeah.
a bit there, but to inspire other women out there looking on to say, you know, this club has a wealth of information, expertise. What it is in that club that I could really add to and join with?
So for me, again, the sisterhood first and foremost with the club, the diverse nature of the club, not just San Fernando, but generally throughout the National Association of Trinidad and Tobago. It is something that, yes, I do experience at my workplace in the corporate environment. Navigating the structure of an NPO, it's a lot different because you are not getting paid to navigate this. You are volunteering your time. For me, it really has taught me a lot of patience. And because there's a lot of women who are involved with very strong women, very opinionated women, to really understand each other, to voice our opinions, to respect each other,
Excellent.
to be kind to each other, has provided me with that opportunity to sometimes say less and try to understand everybody's perspective.
Life skills.
Life skills. This, having joined the club, I joined as a couple of years into it. I was executive floor member, then treasurer, and then VP. So it has, you know, they provide you, the club provides you with that structure. They don't just put you in it and say, hey, you need to do this.
Excellent.
You have a structure that is very formal. If I did not grow up in the corporate world in banking, I would be a professional and say this is it's a corporate structure that we have. We have, you know, full voting rights. So again, with the transparency of whatever donations and funds that we do have, we have that corporate structure that would ensure transparency. We have voting, we have all the needs and all the opinions of the women of the club before any decisions are made. For me, it's critical that, you know, going forward, that we continue to leverage and build on each other's capabilities, to continue to be kind to each other and everyone in our communities, to continue to bring forward suggestions and ideas, because there are hundreds of ideas that we would note on every executive meeting and business meeting.
True.
The wildest of ideas on how we could support our community. And then we break it down to about 10 to 12.
Which is doable, which is
Which-
realistic,
Correct.
smart goals.
Correct.
It takes to do it.
Correct. And this is all because we all live in varying communities. We all live in varying areas where, again, as Leanne mentioned, we would bring the opinions of our members who reside in these communities to continue to help us to make these decisions. We listen to the persons who attend our luncheon, who we have in-depth conversation with our golf members, the members who come in to play golf. We encourage everyone who plays golf. We have our annual golf fundraising tournament with some excellent prizes. You know, we listen to the voices of the golf players. We listen to everyone. And then we come together because it's a community that we leverage off of to do the fundraising, to have the projects, and to benefit from what we do.
Lovely. That's quite a bit.
Yeah.
Leanne, I know you're a little bit longer in the club,
Yes,
so
I
you would
have.
have a little wealth of
Yeah.
experience
Well, yeah.
there,
And
an
what
immediate
caused me to
past
join-
president.
Yes. What caused me to join? So
I am a person who believes that if you have the ability to make a difference, it is your responsibility to try. That is the way I see things. And many, many years ago, when I was about 15, a teacher, one of my teachers, was a seroptimist. And I admired it a great deal, and I was inspired really by her life as a seroptimist. I didn't know exactly what it was, what it meant or whatnot, but I had heard of it at 15. And then many years after, a very close friend of mine invited me to come to a meeting to hear what this seroptimist club was about. And when I went to the meeting, I realized this was a group of women who don't just talk about what could be done. This is a group of women who rolled up their sleeves and did. And that resonated with me. I was like, wow, okay, this is something that aligns with my own view of life, right? So I had the experience of the meeting and decided, well, yes. Now remember, professionally, I'm at a medical lab, so solving problems is my everyday, right?
Right.
So this gives me another avenue to solve a different type of problem. You know, so it really touched me, and I joined the club, and I've been there, and I will be there till I'm 100, right? Till I'm 100. Yes, I've been through several roles. I've been communications officer, I've been secretary, I've been president, I've been VP. And, you know, now I'm program action officer, so I think I'm covering the entire executive. Yes, yes. So that is why I joined, and I'm happy that I joined. And when I look back at this 15-year-old girl wondering what seroptimism was about, is really amazing that so long after, I wonder if, you know, that person knew that seroptimism will be part of her story, you know, a big part of her story.
And you don't just take people, like you've said, you invite them to come and see what is happening.
Yes.
And then give them the choice to join, or not join.
Yes, if it resonates
So
with them.
professionals out there, they would like to join. This is the methodology you use,
Yes.
all scientific backed.
Yes.
So-
Yes.
and it
Yes.
works.
Yes,
Yes.
it
It works,
does.
yeah.
It does.
And you wouldn't believe the time has just crept out on us.
Yeah.
We are ready to close. But
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh, an
if
hour.
you could, our viewers out there, you know, if you could change, how can viewers support your work, volunteering, donating? And I think we have a slide that you could talk to the viewers out there, and you can read it out.
Sure. So you can email secretary.sisanfernando@gmail.com, and our banking information would be at Republic Bank. It's a checking account, Seroptimus International San Fernando, account number 940-450-574102. We are also on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn at Seroptimus International San Fernando. So we please ask for you guys to reach out to us. Again, there are not just SI San Fernando, but there are other clubs in your communities that you can volunteer for. And of course, we'd be very happy to, you know, invite participants.
Okay, so what message you would like in closing here to leave with the women and girls of South Trinidad? Let's hear Leanne.
Well, I would simply say that I want viewers to know that they should not underestimate the difference that they can make, right? Just as we were saying, reach out to us. It may not be to give finances. You may have a talent. Let us say you are a psychologist and you want us to do, you think it's a good idea that we do a project to tap into something that is happening now. Then we will
Welcome
create
you.
a project around your expertise. So you may not need to join the club, but you may offer your service to help
That's
us
a
to
good
do
point
a
there. You know,
project.
you don't have to
Yes,
join,
yes,
but you could offer your
contribute.
service.
Right.
Yes, I like that
also-
one.
I also want girls looking on to know that your circumstances do not define your potential. I think that's an important message that we are trying to get out there, and I can't say it enough.
And I usually say it, your history is not
Right.
your destiny.
Correct, right? And for everyone, don't think that you need someone else to make a change in the community. You can start. You start, and you will be very surprised by how many people will walk alongside you. So those are the things I want to tell
Cindy,
the
what
public.
message you want to close with?
So for me, I think it's around advocacy. Is not always sitting behind a podium or even being part of a club. Sometimes it's mentoring a young girl, it doesn't have to be in a formal space. Speaking up for someone in schools right now, we didn't get a touch on it, but in terms of digital exposure, even online violence and so forth, speaking up for someone whose voice hasn't been heard, or simply opening a door that someone else can walk through. So for me, again, in the corporate world is who can I support, or who can I look at to continue to support or be a mentor for those young women now coming up in the corporate world, or even in whatever workspace they are in. We've done projects like, for example, Dress for Success, some etiquette training as well, to help young girls along. So again, not in a formal space, but if it is that you can help to mentor anyone, speak up for someone, stand by someone, it's very, very important.
Right, there's one more slide with a nice little quote that we could probably show before we
close off. As we ready to close, there was one. All right.
This is it here. Service is not about being the hero of someone else's story. It is about helping them become the hero of their own.
And that powerful.
I read that, and yes, I read that, and it really, really struck me, and I wanted to share.
Brings us to the end of today, and you see, you all could come back and talk, take all the projects and show them the lab and everything else, but unfortunately, time is of essence here. So once again, I want to thank Almighty God for this opportunity. Thank our viewers out there for joining us, and much appreciation to my guests, Leanne and Cindy. I call them by their first name because I know them well, from Soroptimist International, San Fernando. As we wrap up tonight's conversation, one thing is clear: when women lead with purpose, entire communities rise. Soroptimist International, San Fernando continues to prove that service, advocacy, and compassion are not just ideals. They are actions that change lives every single day. So to my Soroptimist people, thank you for your commitment, your courage, and your unwavering belief in the power of uplifting others. And you at home, tonight discussion, hopefully we inspired you to support, volunteer, or simply encourage the women and girls in your own circle. If you would like to join us in this program, you can contact us at 680-9635 or 645-4426. Join us every Monday at 8 p.m. with a rerun on Saturdays at 5 p.m. Assalamu alaikum, good evening, good night.
Ready to step into the future of home design? Crafted for longevity with durable tempered glass and premium hardware finishes, our shower enclosures ensure your home is ready for whatever the year brings. Out with the dated, in with the modern. Experience a bathroom that's as easy to love as it is to clean. Make this your year of style. Contact Camry Glass today and let's start your transformation.
Enjoy Nice's family of fine foods, including our Jamaican-style patties. This complements Nice's range of premium chicken burger patties, lamb patties, beef hot dog, and our smoked beef and lamb sausages. Also, you can try Nice's halal gummy bears, available at leading supermarkets and at Nice's wholesale outlet. You can also shop for grocery and household items. Nice brand products, 23 Beocal Road, Conopia. Telephone 665-3078 or 665-3079. Nicer is nicer.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. كل كل نفس ذائقة الموت وإنما توفون أجوركم يوم القيامة فمن زحزح عن النار وأدخل الجنة فقد فاز وما الحياة الدنيا إلا متاع الغرور.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه ما بعد. We are still discussing the most interesting and the most blessed topic, one of the most blessed topics, and that is the reality of Jannah, the reality of paradise that has been prepared for the righteous. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us amongst them and make us amongst the people of Jannah. So today, inshallah ta'ala, we will be discussing the rivers of Jannah and the fountains of Jannah and the streams of Jannah and the drinks of Jannah. So this is going to be our entire topic. And one of the things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned multiple times in the Quran is the reality of Jannah being a place of greenery and foliage, and also Jannah being a place of plenty of water. Jannatin tajri min tahtiha al-anhar. This phrase, it occurs more than 2